Here's something I've realised about running shoes. Not every shoe needs to do everything. Some runners want one shoe that can handle long runs, tempo, threshold, marathon pace, but once you've built a shoe rotation, you start looking at shoes differently. This is the Li-Ning Red Hare 9 Ultra. Some people are calling it a super trainer, some are calling it a bounce machine. Some are saying it's the next big Chinese super shoe breakthrough. But where does it actually fit? Hey, I'm Jim and you're watching Race Day, where I share my take on the gear I'm using as a 50-something runner still chasing personal bests. I paid £130 for this and I've used it on long runs, recovery runs, and after a few weeks I think I know where it belongs. So let's get into it. Let's start with something that genuinely surprised me. This shoe feels really premium. There's still this idea floating out there that Chinese shoes are just cheap knockoffs. And if you believe that, pick up this shoe. The upper is absolutely beautiful. Structured heel, gusseted, the tongue, mesh quality, the clean finishing. It feels deliberate, well built and considered. It doesn't feel like a budget experiment, it feels like a serious piece of kit. The lockdown for me has been solid, true to size, no heel slips, plenty of comforts. This is not a cheap alternative, it's just cheaper. And there's a big difference. So this is a max stack shoe. We're talking 44 millimeters in the heel down to mid-30s in the forefoot. There are 3 layers working together here. The top layer is super boom foam. The middle layer is that super boom foam in a capsule. And then we have a stabilizing foam plus a nylon shank to hold it all together. The red capsule is the centerpiece. That's a PEBAX core wrapped in a polymer skin. And when you land, it compresses and rebounds with tension. It's bouncy but not chaotic, soft but not marshmallowy. Think of it as being like contained energy. Now here's the key. If you want to do tempo, if you want to do threshold, if you want something sharp and responsive, personally, I'm not reaching for this. I've got better shoes in my rotation for that. This doesn't scream, let's go fast. It doesn't feel snappy. It doesn't feel aggressive. And that's when I realized this, for me, is a long run shoe with a premium feel. That's its lane. It's not a do-it-all super trainer. It's not a tempo monster. It's a leg saver, protecting you when you're doing steady mileage. And once I stopped trying to make it into something else, I really started to enjoy it. On long runs, the Red Hare Ultra 9 is excellent. Protective, rhythmical, bouncy, easy to settle into. It has this pogo stick midfoot feel that just keeps you ticking over. Late in a run, when the legs are starting to feel flat, that controlled bounce helps. Not in a dramatic carbon plate snap kind of way, but just enough to stop things from falling apart. It doesn't force the pace, it just really supports the distance. This shoe has been absolutely brilliant on recovery days. You can sit on the surface of the foam, you don't have to sink into it, you just jog along. It's soft without being sloppy, stable without feeling heavy, and for such a tall shoe, it's impressively controlled. The closest comparison for me is the Nike Vomero Premium, big, maxed out, air heavy. But the Red Hare 9 Ultra feels like a better execution of that idea. It's lighter, it's more stable, it's less bulky. The Vomero feels big, this feels purposeful, and at £130, this is significantly cheaper. But let's be honest, the Megablast is more versatile. It's firmer, quicker to respond, and better at handling pace changes. If I only owned one shoe, the Megablast probably wins, but I don't only own one shoe, so this doesn't need to be that. It just needs to have its own role, and for me, it does. For a 44mm stack shoe, it's impressively stable. It's got a wide base, good ground contact, and the shank spreads the compression. You feel like you're on a platform, but not in a scary way. It's not nimble, it's not light like a racer, but it's safe, it's predictable, and it's controlled. So let's talk about price. £130 for me here in the UK via AliExpress, cheaper than Vomero Premium, cheaper than Megablast, cheaper than most super trainers. And the build quality is genuinely excellent. If this had a major Western logo on it, it would be £220, £250 without question. The idea that Chinese shoes are cheap versions, no, this is a premium shoe just with a better price. So here's my verdict. Buy if you want a premium feeling, leg saving, max cushioned long run shoe. Wait if you're looking for one shoe that handles everything from tempo through to long runs. And skip if you want something sharp, snappy and race focused. For me, this earns its place in my shoe rotation, not as a fast shoe, not as a workout tool, but as a shoe that I will reach for when I want to stack miles and come back tomorrow feeling good. Different runners will use it differently, but if you understand its role, I think it's an excellent shoe. You've been watching Race Day. If you enjoy honest reviews from someone who's actually putting miles into these shoes, hit subscribe and tell me, where would you put this shoe in your shoe rotation? See you next time.